Hello, YouTube. I am Shaggy. I am Philalitea. I need to take one of these earbuds out of my ear. So let me waste a few seconds of your time here at the beginning of the stream, like I always do. Okay, my dudes, my dudettes. We have smashed our way through Final Fantasies 1 and 2. We have made the first Final Fantasy look a little bit silly, and then, to be fair, it turned around and made us look silly for about an hour as a consequence of continuing to play it. Now, we are playing Final Fantasy 3. There is one Final Fantasy that I have played once, that I have booted up and played one time, and it is this one. I could not tell you what this game is about. All I can tell you is that before we do anything, I have to fix this. They eventually, you may have noticed, they eventually got that, so I didn't have to do that every single time I played it. That did eventually get saved across my games. Are you ready, my dudes? Are you ready, my dudettes? I should wait, actually. I want to wait until I know Mr. S is here. So just really quickly, for the future audience who tune in, actually, you know what? What we can do is, while I wait to make sure that he's here, I can do a couple of things. I can. Okay, sorry about that. Um, Once I know he's here, we will go into the game. I'm sorry, future audience, that this is a little bit boring to watch at the beginning here. I want to make sure that my producer sees all of this game. These are for him as much as they're for me, as much as they're for you, as much as they're for anyone. These are a gift for the lover of the Final Fantasy series, but the first two have been efforts to introduce the Final Fantasy series to a generation of people who have never played it. I didn't try on either run to do completionist runs or overpowered runs or anything. I just wanted to show you that I wanted to show you that the first two games are as difficult as you want to make them. They're as difficult as the amount of time that you spend playing them. And greetings, Mr. S. I wanted to make sure you were here before we went new game. Because this game, this one's different. So these are not in any particular order, for the record. Okay, so there's a Kyle in all of our Final Fantasy parties because, as far as people who've just ducked into my life to say, hey, I hope that what little I have to offer is enough. Kyle is our exemplar of even a single dollar is enough to help, and thank you. Nuestra bought my lunch today, and she's been, he or she, I don't know, has been hanging around. I don't know why sometimes I gender people when I don't know. Um, Mr. S is our longest time financial supporter, and Alec um, bought our battery bank. So this isn't necessarily, I only get to put 4 names in, so maybe when we play something like Final Fantasy Tactics, I can include names for everyone. But these are the 4 right now, Mr. Madge. I'm sorry, buddy, that you're the longest time Patreon subscriber, but you've been in all of them, and I wanted to thank Alec and Nuestra forever for what they've done for me this week. Um, thank all of you, everyone that's helped me over the last 10 months. This one's for you. I'm gonna play this game and I'm gonna take it seriously for the first time for you. Into the silence, one of the Golgans prophesied. The great earthquake was only the beginning. The tremors tore the land asunder. The crystals, sources of the world's light, were swallowed into the depths. I didn't read that. Yet that was nothing compared to the catastrophe to come. So we're back to the Final Fantasy, the first setup, crystals. Something fathomless, ominous, and laden with sorrow looms on the horizon, but hope is not yet completely gone. 4 souls will be blessed with the power of light, and so it shall begin. So people, what you need to understand is that nobody liked 4 orphaned youths raised by Tuapapa in the rural village of or something or other. They come across a cave, one of the very same that formed when the crystals were lost to the earth. People really didn't like the second one, so they took a step back thematically. What started as a simple game of exploration became so much more. And so this is effectively the first Final Fantasy now. This is the setup for, well, if the first Final Fantasy had had a story. I think that's what this feels like. Looks like we fell through a sinkhole. Now what do we do? Are you sure this is a good idea? Maybe we can climb out. You wanted to go exploring. Don't be such a scaredy cat. Hey, quit squabbling, you two. We need to find a way out of here. And this deliberately looks more like Dragon Quest than previous iterations looked. And so this opens feeling like a back to basics type situation. But if you know the progression of Dragon Quest, and we'll do Dragon Quest probably after we finish Final Fantasy V, just because 6 is a different game. We will do 6, but we'll probably play the Dragon Quest games because they're also on mobile and I own the first 2. So we can talk about the progress. Actually, we might do that after this one because 4 is a different game. Well, what were those monsters doing here? We're in way over our heads. Let's get out as fast as possible. And our characters aren't as characterized and distinguished as they were in 2. The chest contains leather shield and a potion. Huh? What is it? There's something strange about that rock, now that you mention it. Neat. I love rocks that make other rocks on walls unassociated with them move. The chest contained leather shield. And we can just auto-attack our way through this. So, 1 and 2 open brutally difficult. 1 opens with no real narrative, just 4 heroes go. 2 opens with a dramatic world politics, scoping grand narrative. And then this begins at the prequel of the first game. So you start with low stats in this, but the enemies are equally weak. In 1, you start with low stats and the enemies are not equally weak. 2, you start with low stats and the enemies are not equally weak. So we're just, right now, it's just about direct comparisons. I'm not criticizing this game yet. Legit, I can't remember. I honestly can't remember whether I skipped it when I played the Pixel remasters on my Switch for my birthday last year. I honestly can't remember whether I skipped this or not. I remember nothing about this. But now that we've leveled, we have what are called job levels to level up. Okay, well that's different than the first two games. So what's that about? We come in here and we look at the stats. Okay, well we have a job thing that we don't have access to. What's our job called? Casey, I did see that and I didn't read it because I was reading the drama. But thank you for stopping by, Casey. In the future, while I was naming my long-term donors, Casey is one of my long-term commenters. So, job level 2, XP, next level in, job level. So I wonder how we know when we gain job levels, or do we not have character levels? Do we only have job levels? Because that would be interesting. But that doesn't seem to be the case. We have a level and a job level. I don't know how to know when our job level is going to increase. That's what I was looking for. Look, it's a spring. Yeah, but why is it such an odd color? Let's take a sip. I'm not too sure about this. The party drinks from the wellspring. Wow, I feel revitalized. HP and MP, KO and all-out KO'd allies are restored. They really anticipate that you're going to be doing a lot of walking around trying to get into fights in here. That's not something we're going to be doing. Sorry, if I'm being slow and actually playing and continuing to talk. I did turn off the audiobook, and that's going to be a pain in the ass to turn back on. Um, but I don't know exactly what's happened. But today is the first day that my YouTube channel has seen activity, engagement, comments, likes, um, like a YouTuber. And so I got a notification. Ooh, what's going on? A malicious force attacks the party from YouTube, and I thought, oh, well, that won't be anything. And then it was actually somebody caring about my life. That's unusual and new for me, so I took a moment of silence to say a prayer of thanks and to remind myself that they will wait, that you are more important to me right now. Future audience watching that's here to watch Final Fantasy III. Now, if you know Dragon Quest III because of the recent remaster, I haven't played the remaster, really want to, but if you know Dragon Quest III because of the recent remaster, please don't spoil the conversation that we're going to have once we've played through as many of the Dragon Quests as I can access and afford on my phone. Now, here's something interesting to me. I actually have enough power right now in my battery bank that I could run a laptop and a Switch and do this. If I had, I wouldn't even need the internet. I would just upload from my laptop on the Wi-Fi. The crystal shines brightly. You four have been chosen. Whoa, that crystal's talking. I give unto you the last of my light, and with it the last hope of a fading world. As things stand, light will soon disappear, and the balance of the world will be destroyed. Accept the light into your hearts, and the crystals will grant you unimaginable strength. You have been chosen to be the bearers of our final chance at hope. You cannot allow light to fade from the world. The party is enveloped in the bright light. The party are enveloped. Party is a plural word. I'm a stickler for that shit. I'm a stickler for it because I'm a writer. That's how I practice it. I practice it by correcting people. Correcting you doesn't correct you, it helps me practice. Within the light, the will of the crystal surged through them. They decided to accept their destiny. There are people that will bitch that you didn't get a choice. And so began a journey to dispel the darkness and return light to the world. The young heroes received the crystal's power. And with it, the world's last light of hope. I'm burning through my weed a little bit faster than I should, but you know what? I anticipate that someone will help me with my weed and nicotine in the coming days. Warrior, monk, white mage, black mage, and red mage jobs now available. Step upon the magic sigil to be transported to the surface. Embrace your destinies, warriors of light. And now we go back even to being the warriors of light. 2 becomes a total diversion almost in theme, in tone, total. However, I do not believe that it is, but we will retrospect all of that once we've completed the first 9 to which I have available. The first 9 of which? The first 9 that I have available. We'll do a big retrospective conversation. I didn't mean to pause my stream. Sorry about that. I was trying to... Okay. I really like the pixel art of this game. The remaster did a really good job. I don't know what the original looked like. Why, if it isn't you 4 rascals, where are you running off to? What's that? Saving the world? Aren't you getting a bit old for make-believe? Fair enough, old lady. This has told us that they're also going back to the Invisible Walls convention. Oh my, you're a tenacious bunch to find me in here. Tell you what, I'll give you my secret potion stash. Just check the whale. Oh, fell into the whale. The chest contained potion. She wasn't kidding. Potion stash in the well. Cool. And this has now told us that we also got jobs that we're going to assign, because I don't think there's any reason to level Onion Knight up besides doing it. I don't think there's any reason to do it besides having done it. As you can see, you have a job level and you have equipable gear, and within that level, within the job. And so we've got Alec here, can be a warrior or a monk or a white mage or a black mage or a red mage. That all looks pretty familiar to us. So Alec is a warrior. Yes. And he's got his gears on. Cool for him. Mr. S gets to be a red mage. Great. Cool for him. And Nuestra is our white mage. Cool for... Nuestra is being gendered female. Nuestra Familia. If you're not female, it doesn't mean anything. I promise. And for old time's sake, Kyle's a black mage. Kyle is a badass black mage. This motherfucker is dual-wielding knives. This guy's double-fisted knives. Black mage, double-fisted knives. Like a motherfucker. Mr. S Chronicles, return to form. Yeah, I thought you would like going back to the red mage. You seem to really dig that. You seem to really dig the red mage class. I had a feeling that would suit your temperament, Mr. S. I'm glad that I wasn't wrong. If you want to use an item, just select it from the list when it appears. Why not use a potion on me to try it out? Oh. Neato. By gum, that cured my aching back. Thank you, youngsters. Here, take this with my regards. Traded a potion for an echo herbs. The elder awaits you inside. It seems that Don sensed what befell you all. He always did have a strong connection with the spirit world. Interesting. We did just help a junkie with his potion addiction. Yes, the spirits have told me exactly what befell you. Now, go speak with Elder Topapa. I believe he has some words of wisdom for you. I'm hoping Elder Topapa's none of it. Also, wait a second. Is this fucking building inside a dimensional portal? Is it inside a dimensional rift? Roaming safe injection clinic? That's us. We're the, um, damn it. We're a method one, we're a traveling method one clinic, methadone clinic. And also, the inside of this building, like, just for a second, the inside of this building looks nothing at all like the outside would indicate that it might. It's not shaped like this on the outside. Anyway, moving on. It's not stone either on the outside. You enter a dimensional portal when you come in here. It's Nina, a motherly figure to the four orphans. Oh, the game is telling us that. Take care on your journey. You know how I worry so. I don't want to step on this, but okay. Uh-oh. It's Topapa, the elder who raised the four orphans. This is so funny. So the second game doesn't tell you anybody's name, right? It doesn't introduce them, right? They just say their names or their name is in their dialogue box. And so this is correcting that mistake. So much of this game is just correcting what the fans and reviewers thought were mistakes of the first one, the second one. Topapa, I also like that they don't give any of the four specific character traits or specific dialogue like they did in the second one. I don't prefer this to the second one. I know. To think that you four would be chosen by the light. Alec, Mr. S, Nuestra, and Kyle. You must understand that such a meeting was no mere chance. The crystals willed you to it. Such is its power. Your souls have been touched by light. You cannot let the strength you've been granted go to waste. You must depart at once and seal away the powers of darkness. It's Homak, one of the town elders. In order to understand the power you've been granted, in order to understand the power you've been granted by the crystal, you need to be true to your heart. Don't tell me or Shaggy what to do. Yeah, don't fucking tell me what I must do, you motherfuckers. I'm not in the party, so that's not going to be a running joke anymore. I'm just going to go along with what the game says because I'm role-playing being Mr. S. That's actually funny that happened. I didn't do that, did I? I didn't react like it was me. King Sassane's or is it Sassoon or Sassane? King Sassane's castle lies to the west. The west. He rules the region surrounded by the Parmeny Mountains, including the village. Oh, that's a woman. She has a very deep voice. To the south is the town of Kazas, but no one ventures out that far since the great earthquake. Word has it that the route is overrun with monsters. Well, let's start with weapons. Let's start with weapons. I know how to do this. No, I don't. I don't know what I was thinking. What can I do for ya? Well, you can give me a long sword. What? I'm gonna buy a dagger. Because I'm gonna do this, actually. I'm gonna say, Kyle, you're great, but you're getting this bow and arrow, and you're going in the back row, and you're not gonna be a liability this time. Knife becomes dagger, knife becomes longsword. Neato, petito. No, sir, thank you. I don't know why there's this stuff in this town, but hey, I'm stoked for it. We're gonna... Huh. They're much less... I don't know the word I'm looking for. Punitive? What? No. We're not dual... Well, we're not dual wielding. That's silly. Okay. They're much less punitive in armors. Everybody can wear leather armor, for example, than in the first game. But I gotta be careful with optimize. because it's going to end up doing something insane like giving her dual wield or having him dual wield knives. No, the bow is fine. It's cool that you have to equip an arrow, you have to equip an ammo type for your bow so that it counts as dual wield as far as like the damage that it's doing. You see, the arrow adds damage. I like that. That's cool. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Okay. I just like to double check. I just like to take my time. I like to take my time. Magic. What can I do for you? You can tell me Poisona, I guess. Now, how does it work? Does magic work? Okay. Magic works just like in um, 2. Cool. Stoked. Let's do it. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's go save the motherfucking world from motherfucking snakes. When the great earthquake hit, the crystal altar sank deep underground. Oh, the world is destined for ruin. Move your ass. You should never leave home without a spell of cure. I saw one in the shed deeper in the thicket. Careful, though. There are monsters along the path. Are there now? Well, that would be a real shame if I came across one. Stomping and stuff. See that candle furthest to the right? Oh, you saw it in the shed, huh? See the candle furthest to the right? It's actually the switch for a hidden door. Found antidote. Found antidote. They are very much telling us that we are going to be dealing with fucking stuff that's got poison. If they're... Ow, ow, ow. Ow, ow, ow. Ha! It's a torch. That's funny. If you grab the torch, Mr. S... Actually, that's not Mr. S. That's Alec is the one leading the party. Don't grab the torches. Longsword, leather armor. Why are you the way you are, game? Why are you the way you are? Ah, that's funny. I don't need that shit now. I already bought it. You gave me enough money to not need it. Uh-oh. Kyle, you need to go in the back row, my dude. He's actually competent with that bow and arrow. Yeah, if this were Final Fantasy 2, we could build up our stamina, agility, and HP stats just by touching the torch. Found a potion. Okay, so this game is telling us that people didn't like that Final Fantasy 2 didn't rely on exploration. They wanted Final Fantasy 1 to build on its exploration in Final Fantasy 2, and they did not like that they didn't get that. So this game is giving you a lot of that. Already, we've got a lot of that. The tone that I'm using, it doesn't mean anything. I heard it. It sounds like I'm complaining. Nope. I like a reason to go to those places. And I like for that reason to be something other than talking to an NPC that's just a flavor text. Are you heading out on a journey? Well, you should rest up first and don't worry about payment. Tonight's on us. Well, we've lived here long enough. You should absolutely not be charging us to stay here. We grew up here. We're orphans, no less. You know we don't have any fucking money. I shouldn't have sold that dagger, and I shouldn't sell... Well, the leather is fine. Ooh! Yo, boy, Vinny almost did the dump. Why do I not have any eye drops? Did I just sell the eye drop? Oh, because eye drops aren't echo screens. That's why. Okay. So, Nuestra gets Secure Spell. Mr. S, you can equip it, but you're not the primary healer. A big old boulder is blocking the valley, so I can't get back to Canaan. Nothing left but to drink away my worries. Hey, you look like you can play the piano. Give us a tune. Shut up. Okay. It's playing da 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 is what it just did. And then the girl goes, "Do you like my routine?" Now he looks down at the floor because he is not a competent pianist. "Oh, I'm a dancer, can you tell? Want to see me dance?" Neat. This actually titillated me in high school. I can remember, no, it couldn't have been in high school. Couldn't have been this game. You son of a bitch, if you don't stand still, he just doesn't want to talk to me. So it's not that grown up. It's like, hey, kids know what bars are like because, their dad never leaves it. But you don't get to talk to the bartender guy. Wait, don't tell me. I bet you can guess your specialties. Hang on. Warrior, red mage, white mage, and black mage. How'd I do? You looked at us. Well done. Zzz. Zzz. What did I think they were going to say? Did we rest already? Or did I turn her down? We didn't rest. Did I turn her down? Bitch. Here we go. That was not how you did that in other games in the series to date. We're not complaining. We enjoy this. We like this a great deal. This is a fun game so far. It's different. And the Onion Knight looks too stupid. It just looks too stupid. I swear to God, it's taken the piss out of the main character of the first 3 Dragon Quests. Leicester, I'm going to need you to actually hit things with that staff. I already miss that we're not leveling up our weapons, but the job level almost fills the need. Cobb job level to 2. Kyle's job level went to 2. Hey, Kaz. Okay. They told us that we were going to be dealing with poison, and then you saw what happened there. And we're back to spell slots and limited number of spells. I preferred the MP of 2. Eek! Alright, calm down. Oh, sorry, I thought you might be ghosts too. While traveling from the west, I came upon this accursed town. I'd stay away from the inn if I were you. It's full of ghosts. He also stuttered the plural. His teeth were okay, he wasn't kidding. Only a mithril ring made here in Kazis can contain the Jinn's power. That's why the Jinn cursed this town. Sid's the name. I'm from Canaan, but a boulder in Nell Valley is blocking my way home. Now I'm stuck here. Figured I'd spend the night at the inn, and then this happened. What's my wife gonna say? Say, want to take my airship for a spin? It's parked under the desert to the west of town. In return, think he can do something about this here predicament? You learned where to find Sid's airship. It's in the desert to the west. I do remember him telling me that in the dialogue. The Downsfolk made a mithril ring for Princess Sarah of Castle Sassane once. If only we could borrow it. All I want is to have my beautiful complexion back. The Jinn had been trapped in the sealed cavern. Yeah, no doubt. You went to the bar, and then they turned you into a ghost? The Jinn has been trapped in the sealed cavern since the great earthquake, but now he's awakened. And that word is pronounced Jean, not Jen. Okay, well, we don't need to do that. Okay, so we have some guy's airship, and we need to help this town. Convenient that they were all in the inn when they got turned into ghosts. Inconvenient, because they didn't have anything to steal. Ow, ow, ow! You can't grab the fires. Don't do it. Nothing good happens. Unless reading that ow, ow, ow is in your estimation good. It's pretty funny to me. Da-da-da. It looks like there's an invisible wall up here it wants me to find. Give it bingo. Mithril Helm. Zeus's Wrath. I feel like I found those a little early in the game. Yeah. Flashbacks to resurrecting the party members in the inn. That's Secret of Mana. That you do that in, yeah. Flash forward, really, in chronological time, but in our time, yeah, it's a flashback to remembering that game. Sid's airship looks cool as fuck. So we didn't really get to have a flying mount. We didn't really get to experience the joy of mounts in 2, so they do this. I don't know why they want you to just... I don't know why they make it available for you to skip that forest. That's all that's for. So you can skip that forest. But okay, we skipped the forest. The Jinn's curse turned everyone in the castle into ghosts. Sid's flying airship is always cool. The Jinn's curse turned everyone in the castle into ghosts. I was only spared because I was out on a mission at the time. If we had a mithril ring, we could be able to seal away the Jinn again. Kazis is the only place where they can craft such a ring, but with the curse, how can we hope to find a mithril ring now? How indeed. The Jinn's curse did this to me, to all of us. Oh, what shall we do? The Jinn's curse did this to me. The Jinn's curse did this to me. I'm beginning to think that these people are all on the same dialogue track here. Lots of treasure chests. I am King Sassanee, but as you can see, the Jinn's curse has reduced me to this ghostly form. Only by defeating the Jinn can this foul curse be lifted. Where is the Jinn? He dwells in the sealed cavern north of this castle, but without a mithril ring, you will be powerless to seal him away. We heard that Her Highness Princess Sarah has one. Oh, how could I have forgotten? The people of Kazis once presented Sarah with a mithril ring, but I fear Sarah is nowhere to be found. Could she have been abducted by the Jinn? Oh, my poor, poor Sarah. Mr. S is immediately like, well, I know what to do about a woman in distress. We can check out the sealed cavern. Oh, such stalwart warriors. When you reach the sealed cavern, you should know there's a secret door. The skeleton is the key. Please, you must defeat the Jinn and free my people from this wicked curse. Heard that, homie. But before I do that, I would like to rob your lovely castle. You understand that I'm not a good person. I don't know what a tonfa is, but we got one. Stole the fuck out of that shit. We just stole the spell Blizzard. I sure do know what to do with a distressed woman. If she's naked, run! Like hell. She might touch you. Oh, why did I give the red mage the free spell that we just got, and not the black mage? Where's my mind? Also, really? They gave us all that? Wow. Wow, they give you a lot of free gear in this game. Like a remarkable amount. They really dress you out. In free gear. Because you're handsome. You deserve all the spells because you're handsome, Mr. S. Is that what you think? Give me that Blizzard spell back. You're grounded. The Wellspring room feels like a room that's going to be almost as cool as dropping the wyvern egg into that lake. Oh, that's not where I wanted to go. Maybe it is. How do I... No fair indeed. Because my mom says I'm handsome. I'm not making fun of you for the record. I just wanted to say that. Oh, look at more shit to rob. Holy arrow. Holy shit. Did they think that I wouldn't rob them? Like, did the devs think that I wouldn't rob? Also, that's interesting that they went back to the Final Fantasy I spellbook even. I do prefer the way that magic works in 2. I think what happens is I always come to 3 sequentially from 2, and it's just a slightly lesser game. It's more like a true sequel to 1 than 2 was. It's a less ambitious game. Oh, oh no. It's a touch jarring. Yeah, it's a little jarring to go back to the previous rule set from a truly unique um, house house cooked rule set, house baked, house made rule set to back to AD&D is it's a little not unsettling, jarring is the correct word. It just takes a second to get re-used to, reacquainted with. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember how this felt and what this looked like. Oof, I'm gonna get Mr. S killed on this. I don't know why they give you the airship and let you skip over that forest. Yeah, he just said for anybody in the future that doesn't know, Mr. S is texting me. He's a Patreon subscriber at $50 a month or more, and earned my trust. So I allow him to text me because the chat doesn't always work. So because he's the Patreon subscriber, because um, he produces these, and because he's a private person who would prefer to remain anonymous until he's ready to unveil. Kyle's job level went up. So did Raystra and Mr. S. Wow, Kyle gained 2 job levels in that fight? Fucking sick, Kyle. And then everybody gained to level 4. Fucking sick. Um, yeah, I offered to let him text me so he can produce from the shadows, and he just said a hello. That, yes, we are texting. Ah, fuck. Shit, wrong button. I am going to... Shit. Can't escape. Fuck. Oh, we're gonna wipe. Oh my god. Because I don't have any Phoenix down or anything. Well, today I learned, don't open that chest. Fucking A, thank God for quick save. Like, seriously, for just a second, let's, like, just pause, take a moment to thank God for quick save. I need to get the fuck out of this castle. This castle is way higher level than I am. God damn it. Okay, not way higher. But this castle is going to push us um, to survive it all. Shit, he's blind. She's poisoned. Motherfucker. Ooh, I hope. Yes, the joy of coming from godhood to once again mortal vessels is a real thing. Yeah, the returning to the beginning of a new JRPG from being so powerful, you kind of trivialize the final boss of the previous. It's a real experience, and it is very jarring. Well, not jarring. It's just a real experience. I'm still agreeing that this game is jarring compared to, or coming off of it is jarring. But yeah, it's that. Part of it is the, oh man, I'm so weak again, and I'm weak in a different kind of way. But we are rapidly gaining job levels. I don't know why Kyle's job level is so much higher than everybody's, but it does look like his celebration is him flipping the bird at the corpses of the enemy. Does everybody notice that? It looks like his left hand is flipping the bird. Anyway, yeah, I don't know why they let us skip to come directly here and then hit us with, oh man, I'm out of heals. Hit us with effectively a dungeon inside the castle. I didn't anticipate that. Maybe I should have. I need to give... The first thing I need to do is I need to come in here and I need to give Kyle these holy arrows. That's how we know Kyle's one of the boys. That's right. Kyle skipped a level somehow. I am... Yeah, boy. Be a real badass and just give her... I mean, there's no reason not to. There's no penalty for it. It's just kind of dumb. There is no penalty for it, though. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to save. And then we need to get... No. I guess. This is just a... Oh, that's why they gave us the airship. I remember. We need to just take some time and we need to walk around on our sweet little footsies because we are going to die. We are unprepared for life as adults. Because our parents loved us. No, because we didn't have parents. Oh, wait. Oh, it's empty. I don't love when they do that. Throw up the exclamation point or let you investigate things that are empty, especially if they're things that you have already investigated. I don't love it when video games do that. Like if maybe it was just too difficult to program it to know the difference. Okay, so I know where I'm going. We may as well, but we really do want to take some time. I do appreciate, however, that they kept that werewolf. They changed its model, but they stuck it early in the game because I kept talking about how much I liked the werewolf from the previous game. So it's not a total departure. Like they remember, they're not trying to tell me that they want me to pretend that Final 2 didn't happen. They're just also saying, okay. You played Final Fantasy the first for 2 years. You grew to really like it, and you wanted more of that. Okay, here's more of that. Stop crying. Please buy number 4, whatever it is. All of our levels are now level 4. We're gaining job levels. I mean, you guys could see where it wants us to go, right? Like, the game clearly wants us to... Ooh, that's a cool-looking enemy. Called a berserker, a berserker. I actually got snacks tonight because Maestra bought my lunch. Bought my lunch. Maestra sent me money for lunch at Panera today. I have granola bars over here behind my head. But what I'm trying to get at is I have a Ziploc baggie over here of plastic spoons that I'm going to get I'm going to get out. Damn! Kyle is no slouch in this one. He's more than competent with that bow, and he's a level ahead of everybody. This is very obviously why they gave us the airship and what they want us to do with it. I have a bag of spoons over here, and because Maestro brought my lunch, I didn't want to go to Taco Bell today, and I was anticipating this charger being good enough to do what it has done. It has got my phone to 100% charged. That's the first time, folks. Fuck, I was not paying attention. I was also right. We needed to walk around for a while. This game returns to Final Fantasy 1 form and then some by really jumping in difficulty. I'm probably going the wrong direction, aren't I? Really jumping in difficulty from world map to first official dungeon. We were probably going to wipe again. There's a non-zero chance that for a while I'm going to be manipulating the autosave feature and we're just going to be suffering wipes. Because this is harder than 2 for my skill set. Like if what I'm trying to, god damn, if what I'm trying to do is put on a show, not do a whole bunch of grinding, not turn off the auto encounters and stuff, we're just gonna have to. It's more difficult than my skill set, which is why I've played it so much less than the other games. So we're gonna suffer through the grind because I need to find some spoons. I need to find my spoons, and I need to turn my audiobook back on so that we have something to talk about while we grind. Did I do that in the wrong order? Why wouldn't I have done that in the wrong order? But I do appreciate for the censors, for the guys that actually made the game, that they don't have to they didn't have to censor that that's supposed to be a Western style church. You know, that's a Christian style church. They didn't have to censor that, so that's cool. They didn't accidentally do some racist shit or stuff that would be perceived in the future of the development of this game as racist stuff. Alright, looking for spoons. I'm sure you can hear me rustling. This is an empty Ziploc bag that doesn't need to be there. These are cords that don't need to be there. I have so many outlets on this battery pack, this battery bank. I have so many outlets on this that I could charge my phone, a Switch. This is what I was thinking about earlier. I could do a Switch and a laptop off of it. And I could run, charge my controller at the same time. Alright, are these spoons? Hey, a fork is a fork. But because Naster brought my lunch, I decided that what I wasn't going to do, and because I had this battery bank, that what I wasn't going to do, was not going to do, was hang out at Taco Bell tonight. So I got a bean burrito for $1.60 or whatever, and 2 packages of lemon pepper tuna from from Dollar Tree. And now I'm going to eat these tunas for dinner. I got a bag of chips that I'm going to nosh later. And dudes, I'm stoked. Everything I ever wanted out of life. Not really, but kinda also. It's not about the food. It's not about the particular meal that I'm eating. It's about the being here with you. Getting to share in your life and in your time. And getting to having an excuse to take this game seriously. They released a port of it, a 3D remaster for the Game Boy, that looks so dumb and so childish I couldn't take it seriously. So who knows how far I made it in that game. I genuinely... I don't know what level we need to be, but I know that we probably want more than 100 health. Now, one thing I don't know, because they're not telling me what our stat gain is in this anymore, is whether your stat gain is job dependent, or job specific. That would make sense, but I don't know. Thank you. What did I miss? What'd you say? Oh, the Western style church is potentially racist because Christians will say that Japanese people were saying that churches bring people back to life from the dead. Christians in the 80s and early 90s were just really sensitive about the way that Christians were depicted in media. Thank you for drawing my attention to that. I didn't see it. So because this is a Western style RPG, not a Western style RPG, but the setting is supposed to be Western, it's a Western style fantasy, they just use churches in the first 2 games, and that could have offended people. There aren't churches in a fantasy universe. God wouldn't be in this universe. If there were a church, it would have been Jesus that saved the day. Christians could have just gotten upset. And so a lot of people, well, I chose the term racist. A lot of people would accuse him of racism, which is maybe not the most, cultural insensitivity is the most accurate way I could have said that. But people will call cultural insensitivity racism. I'm not the only person who makes that mistake. I don't think it's culturally insensitive. Obviously, I think it's funny that they didn't understand or didn't inherently know that a Western style church, a Christian church, isn't like Shinto, right? It's not just something that the people do. And so it's cute to me. Their ignorance is cute to me. But Christians of the Satanic Panic of the 80s and 90s would not have thought it was cute. Did that over answer your question, Mr. S? There's a chance you weren't even here with me while I answered it. There's a chance I'm fading out as far as my connection to the internet. Oh, there he is. You are properly acknowledged. Thank you for... uh, yeah. Look, I like having a producer. I don't have to read what my producer is saying, and I don't have to make my producer a part of the show, but I also like having friends. And in the future, at that $50 or more, $100 or more, I can go live with other people. So we could put on a joint show if anybody wanted to sit and do like a just hang out and talk type show. Those I find more emotionally draining than I find what I'm doing here. But I very much enjoy having my producer in my, he's not exactly in my ear, but I do enjoy having a producer in my ear because that's how the professionals do it. And there's a reason that the professionals do things the way they do them. And I'm not trying to reinvent any wheels. I'm just trying to have a good time. And frankly, I'm trying to elevate perfectly adequate and capable people who are being overlooked because they aren't making themselves sexually compromised for money. Oh, oh, what did I just do? Not what I wanted to do. Eh? Hey, Green. Producer in my eye. Yeah, producer's not in my ear, producer's in my eye. Nice to see you, Green and Stuff. Snuff. I always say stuff. It's always snuff. Yours, it's so funny. Other people, you've seen me say it. Why would I mispronounce your name? That's the name that you've written. And I mispronounce yours every single time I say it. Obviously not on purpose. Appreciate you making it around. You said you wanted to check it out. You wanted to check out what we were doing here. I appreciate you making it. That's cool. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, it happens. For sure. I'm not beating myself up about it. I'm just calling myself out. What can I do for you? You still only sell poison. Or poisona. Just fine. Why did I come here? Because I thought we would probably need to heal by now. What level are we? Job level 6, 7, regular level 5. I said I probably wanted to wait till level, not a particular level, I wanted to wait until an HP count. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to try something quickly. Quickly. Not that quickly. We're just going to walk down here. Yeah, Fantasy 3, man. This isn't one of my favorite in the series. This one has some serious balance issues. And then it got a 3D remaster, is how it came to the US. And I didn't like the way that remaster looked. I thought they didn't take the game seriously. And so I've only played it through one time. Last year, around July, around my birthday, when the HD remasters were released to the Switch. But it's got some balance issues, and I didn't read any of the text boxes, but I'm going to play it. Oh, it does tell us our stat gains. I just haven't been paying any attention. Our stats are going up in a way that makes more sense than in the first Final Fantasy. It's not random, and it does very much look class dependent. Huh? Huh? This is just a dead end? I thought he said something about a skeleton being the key. Isn't that what he said? Giving the Black Mage a bow is one of the smartest things I've ever done. Sure, it's suboptimal. He's not an archer by any means, but he's in the back row, where he's not a total liability to the party. Huh. He said the skeleton is the key. But that's clearly not where we need to go. I know where we need to go. We're just leveling up because that cave was one-shotting us last time we went in there, which means we're just not high enough level. Our stats, our raw stats, are just not high enough. Yeah, I see. He's blind. I do greatly prefer the MP. It doesn't have to improve. Like, the MP doesn't have to gain and increase the way it did in Final Fantasy 2. But I do prefer the MP to spell costs, or to spell slots, even if it does break down to be the same. I see, said the blind man to the deaf dog. Actually, because I've probably said both things, and so if I'm consistent, I like the spell slots because you know exactly how many times you're going to be able to cast uh, that spell. I prefer the I prefer an escalation in cost rather than actual learned spell slots. But the learned spell slots thing it's true to D&D, and I guess this game wasn't released in English. It wasn't released in the United States. I don't think it was released outside of Japan. So who the fuck was complaining about being a D&D truther in Japan in like 1990? I don't know. 1988 is when Final Fantasy II was released. So who was complaining about being a D&D truther back then? I don't know. In Japan? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying if it happened, I don't know. I've never heard about it. Hmm. I don't really know how the job level scales either. So like Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy Tactics, whatever other game you might want to draw a parallel to with like AP ability points, sort of like with your materia in 7. That doesn't seem to be a thing in this. So I don't know. I don't actually know how the levels improve, your class level improves. I don't remember. I do remember. Mithril helm and leather armor. It's just a funny visual. Oof. Yeah, as far as having heard of, but never actually seen anybody play or ever seen it for yourself, Final Fantasy 3. Um, all excellent. Okay, so there's not a special all cure spell. I love this series. This was, if I'm autistic, this was one of my special, very, very, very special interests when I was a kid. Final Fantasy was. I've told this story before, but I don't mind telling it again. I never know when I have somebody that's never heard it in the audience. I loved RPGs, JRPGs as a kid, but I especially enjoyed playing them with my cousin and my little brother because they liked the narrative and I liked the combat. They didn't like doing the combat, so they liked for me to play the game while they did whatever, talked. Mostly they just talked, talked my ear off, and then I would read the story to them, and it made them very happy. Lots of summers went by that way. 6 or 8 summers of my life went by that way, maybe more. And those were the good times of my life. And so I was asking a young man, a 17-year-old today was in my one of my live streams, my live that I did today, and he was telling me that he hates school. And again, I'm still not making an example of him. And the question that I asked him was, well, okay, well, what would you prefer to be doing? And so there's that commercial, I suppose, like the Getaway with Jet Air or JetBlue or whatever. And when people ask me, well, what would you rather be doing? I would rather be doing one of three things. I would rather be playing Final Fantasy for people that want the story but don't like the combat, playing Kingdom Hearts, any of the games in the Kingdom Hearts series for pure love of that series, or playing Civilization. Either 5 or 6. I would love to play 7. And so when I asked him, like, what would you rather be doing? I did say, like, not for money, not to make a living or to have an income. Just what would you rather be doing with your time? How would you rather be investing your time? What would you rather be getting good at? And he was too young to have an answer for that he wanted to offer in public. But God damn, is Kyle my most powerful uh, auto attack right now? Yeah, he's got holy arrows against an undead. Of course he's our most powerful. I need to be cognizant of that. Boisterous job level to level 11. We just crossed over 100 HP. Alec, why are you improving your int and your spirit instead of your stamina and your strength? Mr. S, we'll talk about you not getting any stats that level next time because Noestra only improved her int, and that's not what I need her to get. God damn it, guys, that was a bad level. That was a bad level for everybody. You're all fired. I'll see you tomorrow. That was one of my favorite bits. One of my very favorite gags as a manager. Suck it, Dracula. We got Vatican approved or Vatican produced arrows, says Mr. S. Um, I don't remember what I was going to say because what he said was funny. But I'll finish that story as far as why I brought up what would you rather be doing with your time. At any given moment, those things are what I'd rather be doing with my time. And so late adulthood becomes about, okay, well, how can I find a way to, and the internet age is about how can I find a way to monetize what I would rather be doing with my time so that what I'm doing with my time is what I want to be doing. So I'm doing a good job at all times because it's what I want. And so playing this is a dream come true. Hello, I am Sarah, Princess of Sassanay. Your Highness, what are you doing here? I am here to save my subjects, but I fear I cannot find a clear path through the monsters. Thankfully, my mithril ring spared me from the Gene's curse. Nevertheless, these caves are dangerous, we say. Your Highness, you should return to the castle. It's Alec who's bossing her around. I mentioned a favorite joke. Ah, yes. Thank you. When kids were new to my employ, I'll tell you this story when I'm done, when she's done talking. I will not. I'll forge ahead alone if I have to. And so this is telling us no guest party members. We won't do that to you. We won't twist you with a great narrative twist at the end of the game that Shaggy Philolitea can then manipulate in a live stream. Your Highness, won't you reconsider? Please, take me with you. You cannot seal away the gene without my mithril ring. Then I suppose we must. Sarah, join the party. As a guest party member who I suppose is not going to be... Yeah, she's just going to follow around behind us. Oh, that's right. If you wish to talk to me, press the L button. Don't hesitate to ask me anything. Now let's be off. Well, that's the L button. Okay, this bitch is... It's L2. I am Sarah, and you are? I'm Alec. A pleasure. Oh, that's cool. She says something different every time. I must use this ring to seal away the gene's power and save my people. Please, escort me through this cavern. The gene can control fire. Perhaps attacking with ice would help douse his flames. I could only go so far alone before I reached my limit. It is most fortunate that you came along. I am in your debt. Neat. Can I change the order that they're in? Yes, I can. No shit. I can change the order they're in. You couldn't do this in 2. Mr. S, you're relegated to the bottom of the party because you have the lowest HP. Oh. They've gone back to putting the bosses of the dungeons as assets in the bottom of the dungeons. They capitulated to a lot. They capitulated to a lot of fan demands, it seems like. It seems like a lot of people were upset. It doesn't seem like. I know that a lot of Americans, when they got their hands on 2, were upset. But it really seems like the Japanese audience was very upset that Final Fantasy II wasn't Final Fantasy the first. And what I think of as a sort of pathological demand avoidance, the sort of pathological demand avoidance of artistic integrity, they make it their own game, where your job class is fluid as you go along, because basically you could just imagine people saying, "Man, what we wanted what we wanted FF2." I'm probably going to start saying FF2. By the way, I've never wanted to be that guy, but I'm probably tired of saying the words Final and Fantasy for the rest of my life. We wanted FF2 to let us change job classes. That's the only thing that it was missing. And so that's probably the genesis of how this became a thing. But maybe it was in-house. They were like, you know what would have been cool? Oh yeah, oh dear heavens, the game, heaven forbid, was different than the previous game. Yeah, that does just, like, retrodicting, just guessing from what I know about what's in the popular milieu, not knowing anything about Japanese reviews, Japanese culture, none of that. I don't know anything about the history of the Japanese release. I'm just trying to reverse engineer my way toward their design decisions between games. You understand? I'm hypothesizing or speculating wildly. I don't want you to think that I've researched this. I absolutely haven't. Give me just a second. All the lights in the neighborhood just turned off. Oh, I see, my overhead light just died. I have to fix that. I know it's annoying for you when I do this. I wasn't anticipating doing this, but I have to fix my overhead light, or I'm gonna have the worst migraine tomorrow. Um, Playing with all of this blue light, only blue light, and then in a pitch black tint, besides the blue light on my screen, is gonna dilate my eyes to the point that I just have the worst headache tomorrow. Sorry to interrupt the stream. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for those 2 likes. My favorite joke, I'll tell you about one of my favorite gags when I was a manager. Whenever I would have a new hire, Never on their first night, but on the first night that they had a bad night, that they just really, for the first time, struggled at the job. What I would do is I would tell them, all right, you're fired. Get out of here. I don't want to see you again anymore. Just like that. At the end of their shift, they'd give you the, are you fucking serious? And then I'd be like, until whenever your next shift is. Enjoy your time off. You did a good job tonight. We'll see you then. And give them the emotional whiplash, because it's funny. It's also emotionally manipulative, and I am aware that if I hadn't done it from a place of love, that people would tell me that I was a bad person. But I was just teasing, legitimately just teasing, letting them get past that one thing that they're afraid of. This was a bad night. I had a bad night. He's going to be mad at me. I'm not going to be on the schedule next time. And then just get them over it. Get them over that fear of that one specific thing. Get them over it in one moment that's actually harmless to them. I miss that. I miss being involved directly in helping young people navigate being adults. I miss that in a big way. I don't miss dealing with general managers and district managers and owners and corporate types. I don't miss the rest of the job. But I took those leadership positions because I would actually lead. I would actually get involved in these people's lives. I say these people, right? Like, it's a bad thing. But that was the choice that I made in my heart was, all right, these people need leadership. These people that you work with, they need a leader. They need someone who cares about the job and cares about their well-being, but more importantly, cares about their ability to do the job well. So work in service, it's not obvious, but nobody really teaches you how to wait tables. It's the gene. Miss the job, not the people. I miss the positive impact that I had on young people's lives, more even than the job. Stand back. I will use my ring to banish the gene. I feel like this isn't going to be that easy, darling. Bwahaha, you think that silly trinket will stop me now? I've joined forces with the darkness, and together we're unstoppable. The gene attacked, and she runs behind us. Ah! There's so much Saturday morning cartoon to these games. There's just enough Saturday morning cartoon to these early games, and in the way they resolve conflict, that it's cute and not patronizing. I do not feel the same about Chrono Trigger. Yeah, my external battery, my little hand warmer, would already be below 50% just from the hour that we've done tonight so far. And it hasn't moved. My battery bank that I have, my new one, the indicator hasn't moved. And my phone has been at 100%. Damn it. This whole stream. I have no way to bring him back. God damn it. This game, man. What is it about naming a guy Kyle? Who just opens the fight and one-shots my guy. I'm trying to heal him, and he kills him. What the fuck? Hilarious. But he doesn't get any experience for this. Fortunately, he was ahead of the class by quite a bit. But that's a bummer. He's like, no, no, no. You do not get to use black magic that's going to make this fight easy. You bastard. Alright, this duress bounced back from no stat improvement in the last one to all of the stats improving in this one. And I don't like that. I liked getting the amount of HP that your stamina is. I don't like going back to random HP gain. Now, Sarah, while the gin is weakened, use your ring. says Alec. Sarah, raise the ring up high. And once again, just having the patience, taking the time, and leveling up a little bit so that you're adequately powerful when you go into the dungeon makes the dungeon fun to explore. Did everybody see that? For the future. Like, just for the future. Did everybody see it? The gene dispersed the mist. The ring's power sealed him deep within the cavern once more. Hold on, I have to correct a dimensional wrong. He shouldn't have that much power. Yeah, no shit. The gene literally just came out of its imprisonment to kill Kyle. That was its only goal. Thank you so much. I would never have been able to seal away the gene without your help. All that remains is to cast this ring into the wellspring in Castle Sassenay, and the gene's curse will be lifted. For now, I'll use the ring's power to warp us back to the castle. Okay, cool. Thanks for not making me walk through the whole dungeon with a dead Kyle. That would have been grotesque. Princess Sarah threw the ring in the wellspring. I also like about this external battery, by the way, the battery bank, I have to turn it on and off in order for it to send power through the outlets, through the cords, and I like that. I do like that. There, now the gene's curse should be broken. We wouldn't be here without you all. Thank you. I suppose we must part ways. I have a duty to my father and my people, after all. Would that I could travel with you, but I'd only be in your way. Sarah, come back when you finish your journey. I'll be waiting for you, for as long as it takes. Alec fell in love already. That's hilarious. We swear to return. Sarah leaves the party. I like the guest party member thing of Final Fantasy II, FF2, a great deal. But this is standard. The additional party members not actually just being support members or just like being story members, that becomes standard. Thank you, brave warriors. You have sealed away the gene and saved my precious Sarah. I owe you a debt of gratitude. Take this. I trust it will aid you on your quest. We received a canoe. They are moving us quickly through our vehicle acquisition in this game. Very quickly. People come to expect it, and so they just, let's get it over with. You think it'll be sweet, Alec, right up until it turns out the princess is a Lamia. Mr. S is literally never going to get over that. That it happened to him, too. Like, it could have happened to anybody else, but nope, it had to happen to him. That's so funny to me. Oh, no. That bitch. Okay. For a second, I forgot we had the canoe, and I thought she got our fucking airship permanently stuck on the other side of that river. It's actually a lake. But you know what I'm saying. For just, god damn it, I did it in the reverse order again. Oh, that's funny to me. That was a genuine laugh. I was going to be actually annoyed. I was all prepared to walk back into the city, find her stupid ass, and yell at her for that dumb shit. But it was unnecessary. Here is not the optimal place to have come. Like, I didn't need to have come there. It's just free to restore everybody and heal. Coming here is a thing. Well done! I knew you could pull it off. Bet you're glad you had my airship, huh? I'm just happy it was used for a good cause. Mind if I ask another favor? Can you get me back to the missus in Canaan? Please! She's been waiting a mighty long time. Sid joined the party. Sid has a cool character design. He looks like a dwarf. And I like the following me thing. Thanks to you, I'm back to normal again. I feel fit as a fiddle. Flam as a flabbabble. What can I do for you? What do you think you can do for me? Like, just pause for a second and ask yourself what you think I want. These people are wearing armor. It's not as good as the armor I sell. What do y'all want? I'm gonna take the lesser defenses to improve the one stat. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. You're probably not even looking at the screen. Uh, Straight up dual wielding staves. What a fucking badass. And then stop thinking because you don't know me enough to know what I want. Exactly. Exactly. You don't know the job system better than I do, merchant. You're just a merchant. Moments ago, you were barely less, or barely more than a line art. Again, I am certain that you know what you can do for me, like without asking. There's a non-zero chance I just do it, if I can. Yep, it's too silly not to do, so it's being done. I'm not giving him the rod, even though it would. You saw there's one intellect plus one intellect on the rod. I could. I could for him. But Kyle's doing everything he can to stay alive as it is, so Bose he stays with. Job level 13. Feeling good about that. And then this guy sells spells. I love how we stand in a magic circle. So I guess if we steal the spells, that affects us in some way. I never use this, but I'm buying it on the off chance I use it this time. Fire goes to Kyle, and Mr. S gets a fire, and sleep goes to Kyle, and blizzard goes to Mr. S. Fucking sweet, dudes. Fucking sweet. Okay. And then that's everything, right? Or this Mr. S can wear this mithril sword, right? No. Why do I have two? Oh, because I didn't equip his. Good reason. Okay, time to go. TTG, as they say. I don't think people don't need that. What do they say? Case made its fortune off its mine. Artisans from town made weapons and armor out of the mithril here. Tak is the finest blacksmith around. He lives by himself in this very house. Interesting. He doesn't look like a blacksmith. Been thinking about that boulder that's blocking the way to Canaan. I reckon if my airship had a mithril prow, we could just bust through. Say no more. I'll get one ready for you in a jiffy. Oh, well, I didn't think that I wanted the services of the blacksmith. And then it turns out I did want the services of the blacksmith. All done. No need to thank me. You saved the town after all. This is to show our appreciation. Now take care out there. Taka affixed a mithril prow to the airship. Neat. I didn't even know that was something I wanted to happen. Let's give that bothersome boulder a good old-fashioned whooping. Heard that, Sid. Thank you for not telling me how to solve that problem. Right? This is the shallowest mine of all time for having a whole village dedicated to manufacturing that stuff. Well, Kyle's back. Oh, what a great level, too. Came back with a vengeance. I was hoping this would do something when I came in here last time. I seem to have collapsed the mine, or the mine was just locked somehow. Lots of collapsing, like caving in walls in this game. Nuestra's job level's 15. I might move around their job levels at some point, but maybe not. Maybe when they're maxed out. Did I just get mithril weapons that I've already bought again? This is starting to be one of those games that doesn't want you to improve before you go to the dungeon. They're like, no, 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 we're going to put everything that you want in the dungeon, or we're going to put everything that you want for the dungeon in the dungeon. I don't hate that, but that is why I play with strategy guides. Just go and look at the loot table for the dungeon. All right, what don't I need to buy? Excellent. Maybe that's a cynical way to play it, and I wouldn't disagree. Like, for even 5 seconds, I wouldn't disagree. What you're supposed to do is memorize that shit, and I just don't have the brain for it. I also don't have the health to be doing this, but we're a flying vehicle. Oh, neat. Cutscene. Boom! That feels like that was bad news bears for the airship, too. Yeah, it was. I appreciate that they didn't waste my time by having Sid react to it. Alex job roll to 14. Loving it. Is this Canaan? They're also not fucking with me by putting these towns too far apart. Thanks for all your help. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. Because they did such a good job in FF2 of putting the towns realistically close together. I would be annoyed if they went back to the convention in the first game where the towns are too far apart for a real existing world. Come to think of it, if I can put together another airship, I bet you could put it through its paces. But we'll need to make a few design improvements, and no one knows more about that stuff than King Argus. You should go see him. Anyway, thanks again. Come back to visit anytime. Sid left the party. Yep, don't mind the escort quest where they walk at the same speed that I do on any level. Don't mind at all. Kinda like it. I'm sure that there are a lot of people, I'm sure there were a lot of people that were just negatively impacted by how many of your guest members die into. I hear that long ago a traveling mage hid some medicinal herbs in town. As for the wheres and wherefores, who knows? Heard. A traveler named Desh wandered into town recently, but he didn't stick around. I'm not sure where he was headed. That sounds like a hint or foreshadowing. If you use the mini spell, you can turn into a gnome-sized version of yourself. I sold my last one to a young man named Desh. Heard that. Feel like if this has stuff that's upgrades, I'm gonna bitch about it. Thank you, game. This is probably where I go to bring everybody back to life. And you notice that this isn't a church on the inside either. It's a fountain of water. It's still a church on the inside in the first two games. Arrow is a white magic spell that lets you manipulate the wind to change your enemy or to damage your enemy. Flying monsters hate it. I can't do old women voices. I just can't do women's voices. Can't is probably a strong word. Don't feel like I'm good at it. I have a feeling I know where this guy hid his herb. Found the elixir. Well, that's better than herbs. Did that hurt me? Fucking A, I think walking up that waterfall hurt me. A tiny amount, but still. The soundtrack of this game is so chill. Even compared to the first two. Oh. Oh, it says right there on the screen, level 2. So that, and that, and that, and those, and that, and I don't need to say it every time. Selling all this junk. Why do I have so many mithril swords? Who knows? Okay, one, and I'm never going to cast that spell. They made poison a much lower level spell in this game. But because they're spell slots rather than P, even though the MP amounts to the same thing. It's harder for me to justify casting my spells because I know how many times I'll be able to cast them. Uh, okay, that didn't really give me anything to go off. Oh, I'm a dancer. Can you tell? Want to see me dance? Sure, bitch. They dance to classic music that I don't know, but that I have heard before. Does that make sense? Why is this 2 stories? It's not on the inside. Why is this better than your sword? It's not. Did I say a bad word? Is your mom gonna come in and turn off your phone because I said a bad word? I don't even know what I said, actually, Mr. S. Mr. S told me to, he said, shaggy language. And I don't know what I said. I was hoping it wasn't so bad that people in the future are upset with me. Hey, let's talk to this dead that. Oh, sure, bitch, to the dancer. What's her problem? Cough, cough. Nothing happened with the antidote. Potion? Nothing happened with that either. How about if we do the insane thing? Christ. Heavens above, I'm cured. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Mrs. Sid. That's Sid's wife. I didn't see Sid standing there. He probably would have told me. It looks like I owe you one. Again. Does that mean I owe you 2? I know. Give this candle behind me a jiggle. It'll open the way to the hangar where I used to park the old airship. Help yourselves to anything you find down there. Well, look at that. Not every candle burns you. Does that mean that I should be walking around touching candles? Hoping that we are Jesus confirmed. Hey, look at that. The chest contained an iron arrow. This motherfucker! Where's the water? Phoenix down. God damn it! They got me again! With a great bow and an iron arrow in the chest. I just bought those. Love the Phoenix Downs. Don't think I could buy Phoenix Downs previous to that first boss fight. Achievement unlocked. And she's just going to say, you went out of your way to help my husband and me. I can't thank you enough. You're welcome, lady. Well, Mrs. Sid, as it said in your name. Spot, what time is it being? I'm tired. Yeah, I can sell that stuff that I'm picking up. So, I mean, I'm getting half of the money back. I'm not frustrated at the game for doing it. I'm frustrated at myself for not exploring before I buy. After calling out, okay, this game is going to do that. After acknowledging it, I didn't adjust my approach. I keep not adjusting my approach is what I'm reacting to. No, don't want to do that. I cannot buy Phoenix Down yet. So I have 2 of them. I don't have a life spell or anything like that. So we want to be careful. What dish? Oh, Dash, I'm so lonely here without you. You traveled south to Dragon's Peak where the dragons roost. I miss you so. I'm glad you said that to me. Find that scoundrel. First, that scoundrel Death turns my Selena's head. Then he ups and leaves town. Said he had something to find in a hurry. My Selena was always such a good girl. Now the poor thing cries herself to sleep at night. Interesting. I wonder if Dash is really a scoundrel, if he had a good reason for leaving her. I can't rob that. Found a mallet. Ow, ow, ow! This game really enjoys letting you stick your hands in fire and then having it react to you. For you. I think that's a thing from Dragon Quest, but they really like that joke. Did I go into the inn? because what I wanted to see was whether there was any place in town that has a piano. Since I could play the piano in the first town, I thought maybe that would be a running bit. I suppose that there's only one place to the south that I can go. Oh, cutscene. Dragon! The coolest part of Final Fantasy II! Maybe not the coolest, but the wyvern, it has a cooler sprite than the dragon in the previous game. Oh man, this game jumps right in on all of the coolest shit from the previous one. Building up fire resistance slowly. Yeah, that's how that works. Mr. S, once you get enough scar tissue there, you resist the fire. Sure. Like exposing yourself to snake venom. If I set myself on fire often enough, eventually I'll be flame retardant. Nope, you're just flame retarded. I'm sorry I said that out loud. There's somebody who's gonna be upset. We're allowed to say the R word again. The millennials fought to have that particular epithet made okay again. I don't know why, but I don't have a problem with it because I do say it. I've been shooting myself with this 9mm to build up a resistance to it. I don't know that that works. That's why people didn't like Final Fantasy II. Let's be real. That was what people didn't like about it. Was, you're telling me that if I shoot myself in the face with this fireball, I take less damage from being shot in the face with fireballs? Yes. And instead of going, well, I guess I'm shooting myself in the face with fireballs until it doesn't hurt anymore, they went, that's stupid. Cool, arrow is a white spell. I probably should have given it to my red mage to justify doing damage with it. But you know, someday I'll make decisions that make sense for me and the whole of the party that I'm in charge of keeping alive. How dare my fantasy roleplay game not be realistic? Off to Reddit. That's a real thing now. For sure. Oh! This is a different plot line than Final Fantasy II. Dragon's Airy. Maybe don't talk to the dragons. Oh boy. I have a feeling that dragon wants to make us food. What's that? I have a feeling that's a Desh. Somebody with green hair. Whoa, how the heck did you guys get up here? Wait, don't tell me. You got captured by the dragon too, didn't you? Ha! Losers. That's rich, coming from the dragon's next meal. Touché, I guess you're right. Ha ha ha, my name's Desh. I'm Alec. Gotta be up front with you all. I've got amnesia. Can't remember a thing except my own name. I know that I came up here for a reason. I just don't remember what it was. Uh-oh, the dragon's coming back. Hide! A dragon attacks from the sky. We don't stand a chance against it. We gotta run! Run for your lives! I suspect it means this. Good God! Phew, that was close. Come on, let's get out of here. Agreed. He's dead. You can't say that. Here, you can have this. It's a spell called Mini. I don't think I've got the magic know-how to use it anyway. In exchange, mind if I tag along on your journey? Sure, if that's what you want to do. Good. Then it's settled. Glad to know y'all. Desh joined the party and gave us his mini spell. Man, this Flash IV is gross. It makes me fucking choke and gag every time I swallow it down. It must be the electrolytes or something. We can jump down, Geronimo! And then the localization went and said something that would be considered racist in 20 years. Geronimo was a Native American. I'm kind of joking, but only kind of joking. People who nitpick this stuff really care. Yeah, it's not Final Fantasy II, but can we hit them anyway? I'm a gnome from Toza's Forest to the south. Wait a minute.
I'm a gnome from Toza's Forest to the south. Here to draw water from this magic wellspring. You're welcome to pay us a visit, but you need to cast money on yourselves first. You can't have big folk smashing the place up.
Well, that did kind of sound like Meatwad, didn't it? I wasn't doing Meatwad on purpose, but I did kind of sound like Meatwad. Well, that's unfortunate. We don't have enough spell slots to do. Why does bread show us a map of the world? Moving on from that with our lives. Um, we have a problem. Yeah, they're gnome size now. This is going to be problematic. Well, maybe not that problematic, but I don't know how I'm gonna. How am I gonna get a? Um. Uh. Okay. Well, that worked. That's one way to do it. KO'd out. Well, that's another way to go about things. Well, I had no idea that you were going to be so generous, FF3. If I'd known you were going to be so generous, I probably wouldn't have had that momentary little, "Oh, what am I going to do? I've only got 2 spell slots." So what we're going to do is we have to run around until Nuestra has 4 level 2 white magic spell slots, which isn't going to be torturous, actually. It's not going to be that bad. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, we want to come down around here. Is this a clearing? No. Well, so much for listening to that book. I should turn that on now. I'm going to go back to that right now. I don't know if you can hear me when I'm away from the screen. All right. Why is my screen so... Hi guys, thank you for the likes. My screen is suddenly a bunch of the wrong colors. Let me try to troubleshoot this. Okay. Well, Final Fantasy's color palette's all fucked for whatever reason. Maybe it's not the chat. Oh, I broke the chat now. Can no longer see it. Oh well. I'll fight through that until it hurts my eyes. And then I'll have to reboot it. Give me 1 second. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for sticking with me through it. Don't know sticking with me through it. Don't know why that made everything crash. Don't know why everything just crashed. But everything just crashed. We're back though. We are back. We are heading into the 11 o'clock hour Eastern Standard Time. I do not want to spend an hour grinding down here, so I gotta pay attention. So, Biblical Critical Theory is the book that I'm reading, and he is still getting set up. I just made it into the first chapter, and I don't know if you saw that, but we have 13 spell slots at level 1. It does not cap out at 9 like in the first, so I'm less inclined to bitch about it than I was even a few minutes ago. Also, did he do more damage? Does he do more damage with his bow than he did? No, about the same amount. Mr. S's job level. We're looking for an Oastress job level. What is the original reality? This book asks. What is the original reality? The original reality. He's beginning at the beginning of reading and engaging with the Bible still, because that nearly 2 hour long introduction uh, introduced too much. It was the whole book. But that's what happens. I suppose that's what happens. I can't speak to this from experience. But I suppose that's what happens when somebody reads your book and loves it so much that they felt like they needed to paraphrase why they loved it by rewriting the whole book in, I don't know, 1/10 part. It's interesting that he just said that Genesis. He just said that Genesis answers the question of what is the profound reality in a simple but profound way by saying that it's the personal God that created reality. But that isn't what Genesis says. Genesis does not say that the personal God of reality created, um, no, that the personal created reality. It says that Elohim created reality. Elohim is a fundamentally plural word that means the gods reality, is what Genesis says. So I don't know. I genuinely don't know what this guy is talking about. Personalness. He says personalness, the personalness of God goes back, but he's not going back before the New Testament. His examples are Colossians. His example are Colossians and one, Acts, or one of the other books, one of the other epistles of Paul. I don't remember which one he said it. I think it was Corinthians. And if you're using Paul to talk about Genesis, you don't understand what you're talking about. You just don't know what you're saying. Paul was a mystic Pharisee. He was a mystical Pharisee. So if he's talking about a personal if he's talking about a personal God, it's because he's had a vision that didn't align with Pharisaic mysticism, guys. Meter itself could never produce a poem, and that's just not true. Um, the meter, heroic meter, the meter that Homer and Hesiod wrote on, um, is the meter that it is because it imitates the patterns of speech. So the meter itself, just spoken word in that meter, is a poem. So meter itself does a poem make, actually. I don't know what they're talking about. Everything that the author himself has said so far has been wrong. And this is why we read the book and we don't just listen to them in an interview or watch the YouTube or listen to the podcast. We read the book because we want to know the specifics of their argument and where their argument began going wrong. His argument goes wrong at go. It's like if you ever watched that video about uh, doing your best even when you've already lost, like that motivational video of the high school girl who's at a track meet and nerves got the best of her, so she jumped the gun but still finished the race. She was disqualified from the word go, but she still finished the race. That's what this book is. It's disqualified itself from being right at that word go. Literally, its first premise. The creator, the thing that created the universe, the original reality, is the personal God of Paul. That can't be possible. Torah was written at least 3 centuries before Paul. His idiosyncratic, idiosyncratic, his original contributions to theology, Paul's original contributions to theology, could not have been in books 300 years before him. The contribution is original to him. I don't know how Christians can't understand that. I don't understand how Christians can't understand basic timelines. The reason they can understand basic timelines is he's going to tell me that the weren't prophesying Jesus were prophesying Jesus. That's how he thinks that. He thinks that when it comes to God, that God doesn't have to work in linear time. And so Jesus could have been Ezekiel, Jesus could have been Abraham, and Jesus could have been Moses. Jesus could have been anybody that's convenient for his argument. Oh, good. Hitting someone that's asleep or confused in this game wakes them up instead of making them make a check, a saving throw. I prefer that. Oh, Kyle. Kyle is behind a level because he spent a boss fight face down on the ground, taking a nap, his heart not beating. Poor bastard. For just a second, Kyle was the best person in our party, the most studious, the hardest working, and then he died. Kyle, one long setback. All right, how are we doing here? I don't know how many. Two of three. I don't know why it doesn't tell me my max, but hey, we're getting there. We're trying to get Nuestra to 4 white magic spell slots. That's our goal right now. Once we get to 4 white magic spell slots, we can cast Mini on all of our party members, and we can walk into this spot. Diagonalizing the absolute and the personal. The absolute God of reality is the God of that created reality in Genesis. The personal God of Paul was created by Paul circa 60 AD. And so, depending on when you date Torah, I date Torah to about 250 BCE, but if you date Torah and its composition to before that, then that's when the original conception of the creation of the universe happened. We're forced to choose between a cold, impersonal, absolute reality or a warm, personal, loving, fatherly deity. Which one sounds like an idealistic wish casting? Which one sounds like idealistic wish casting? Which one sounds like my daddy didn't love me, so I want the clouds above me to love me? Which one sounds like weakness? And then which one sounds like the lived Judaism of the world before Jesus? You tell me, because I know which. But absolute personality does not conform across the person of the Godhead of Judaism within the Testament. It doesn't. He just said that it did, but it doesn't. That God doesn't even have a consistent name in those books. That God is El, Baal, Yahweh, Elohim. That God doesn't even have a consistent name, and those names are not synonyms. The anthropology has made it very clear that all of those names had very different worship sites and very different worship methods. The absolute God of reality that he's talking about is not being close enough and not being lovable, not loving, but lovable, is the exact problem Judaism had when it became temple Judaism. When you could only communicate with that God at the temple in Jerusalem, is when Jerusalem fractured into 13 different tribes. And the Jerusalem tribe is the one that wrote most of the books, and it had nothing good to say about all of the other tribes. I don't know how we overlook this when we read the books, but Jerusalem had nothing good to say about Israel. Judea had nothing good to say about the rest of Israel. Read the books. The authors were very clear. And so what happens is modern, specifically English-speaking Christians will go, I understand all of those things to be the same being because I'm brain fucked by thousands of years now, 2,000 of them, 2,000 years of reconciliation with two religions that have absolutely nothing to do with one another, Judaism and Christianity. I'm mind fucked. So I have to believe that all of these names are the same thing, and that makes my argument wrong on its face. Because, like he said, he just quoted or he just referenced the Pascal's wager. And if you're going to use medieval Christianity as your basis for why you're a Christian, well, your options are either be a Christian or be dead in that context. And so Pascal's wager is to wager your life like you're going to heaven and that Christianity is the only true afterlife. And that doesn't mean what modern people think it means. In Pascal's time, it didn't mean living a good, charitable, loving, open, compassionate, neoliberal, humanist life. It didn't mean that at all. It didn't mean anything. It meant giving your time and your money to the church. It meant giving your labor to the church. It didn't mean anything in modern context. Pascal's wager has absolutely no meaning in a modern context. When Martin Luther in The Bondage of the Will is talking about binding the will to God and trampling reason underfoot and believing and wagering that the Christian afterlife is the right one and thus doing what God says to do, he also says that doing things like charity are virtue signaling, and that if God wanted you to do it, you would already be doing it, that you wouldn't need to think about it. He rejects works. Martin Luther rejects works outright. So the idea that if you're a good Christian, you'll do good works, and that's Pascal's wager, is wrong. It's just wrong. Like it's so many people will say, well, I'm reinterpreting it. No, you're just wrong. It's like saying anything. It's like saying that the golden rule is anything other than do unto others what they would, or that you would have them do unto you. It's like if you say, well, I interpret the golden rule to mean that the person with the gold makes the rules. It's like, well, you're just wrong. You're clever, but you're wrong. And so everybody since about 1969, everybody who was educated and K through 12 since about 1969 is losing their fucking mind on me right now. Where they're like, no, 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 no. I was trained and educated that coming to a creative answer was better than coming to the correct answer. Yeah, because your teachers were wrong. Because your teachers came to they came to a clever They came to a clever and creative alternative to what they had available to them because they hated going to school. Like that guy I was talking to today that I'm not using as an example. I'm saying that that's a trap that people get themselves in all the fucking time. And what the result of getting into that trap is that you try to be creative and clever rather than right. And so sometimes it's just better to be right, which is was something that I don't understand with this guy because Pascal and Martin Luther and the science of the Middle Ages, the theology of the Middle Ages, was also right. So I don't understand how Christians went so wrong, where Christians went so wrong. It doesn't make sense to me that Christians have gone so wrong and that they've made so many mistakes and they insist on so many mistakes. Anthropology and archaeology were invented as sciences to do biblical critical studies, to go to the places that the Bible talks about and dig them up and see if the Bible was right. And you know what the Bible is? Wrong. Over and over and over and over and over again. So I don't understand how this guy is trying to make the position that it's not. It's weird. I find it uncanny and upsetting. Clearly, I find it upsetting. I find it upsetting because, yeah, Shaggy, your teacher was wrong, Philalitea. You can put that on my fucking tombstone. My teachers were wrong. Over and over and over and over again in my education. They were wrong. Objectively wrong. And they could not, they couldn't confront it and learn new information because they identified as teachers, not learners. Can we understand why I'm yelling? It's not just my childhood trauma. 1969 was a long time ago. And I'm not making that up. The creative, uh, clever alternative to correct, I'm not making that up. I had noticed it. I had heard other important, whatever, relative to me, people say it, but I'm drawing it with the confidence that I'm drawing it from Great Lectures courses called Educating Educators. It was a Great Lectures course educating educators on the science and the craft of educating. That's not teaching, for the record. Teaching and educating are different. Educating is teaching in such a way that what you're teaching sticks, because education in Greek translate to that which is learned. So education is transmitting information in such a way that it's learned. Teaching is presenting the information. Okay.
Not a familiar face among the lot of you. There's a tunnel that runs through the Muranos Range. You can use it to get to Moralka Basin, home of the Vikings.
Wow, if I weren't listening to this, if I weren't reading this, what? Oh, I need an antidote. If I weren't reading this for the channel, I would have already turned off this book, because he's talking about reality all being one thing but but many, it being one thing but being many, and that's not a Christian concept. That's an esoteric concept. And so the Bible doesn't feel the need to bring the one and the many together. They were never separated in the first place because those two concepts don't exist in the Bible. The one and the many does not, that's a concept that doesn't exist in the Old Testament. That's not a Semitic concept, that's an Indo-European concept. Do you understand now why I care about the Indo-European language family the way I do? You can't understand Christianity without understanding it as a dramatic break from Semitism. Shelko says,
In return, I'll tell you about a shortcut to Morocco Basin. Just take the stairs over here. They lead straight to the secret tunnel.
learn Shelko's shortcut. Neat. The learned thing is trying. It's trying to keep up the cool learning dialogue options thing from 2, and it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't have the same. Man, I feel so smart for finally unlocking that red letter, that red keyword that I needed to finally get access to the end of the game. Figuring that out took a while, and doing it made me feel so proud. Made me feel so good about myself. Please don't unmini us. Wouldn't that be fucked up? You lay down in a gnome's bed, and the act of going to sleep makes you unmini, so you just out through their whole fucking house.
What can I do for you?
Yes, it's awful convenient that the Trinity combines what's good about polytheism, what's good about monotheism. It's almost like Trinitarianism is polytheism. Yeah, it's almost like it's subversive Unitarianism and polytheism. It's almost like the Trinity is a pre-existing pagan idea, polytheistic idea, because it is. The Trinity is an Indo-European religious conception that's thousands of years older than second century Christians. Yeah, the Trinity, by the way, not something that Jesus introduced to Christianity, not something he was concerned with at all. That wasn't a thing until about 250 AD, about 200 years after he died. That matters. These dates, these timelines matter. Because what your preacher tells you at church and what you choose to believe at church, if you want to believe that Jesus is king, sure, fine, fuck, whatever, I don't give a shit. But if you're going to come to me and you're going to make claims and you're going to ask me to change my behavior, you better be fucking right. You better be fucking right. And this guy's just wrong over and over and over. Everything he says keeps being wrong. Why do pre-Renaissance portraits make so little effort to be photorealistic? He says that the answer is because the social structure before Renaissance art was of the higher order of importance. What the fuck? Than, oh, I can't cast many while many'd. That the group identity was more important at the time than the effort spent to make photorealistic portraiture. That's also 180 degrees. It's just perfectly wrong. The reason that they didn't get to photorealistic portraiture back then is because they did. Why can't I find this mallet? Can I just not? It only makes sense. Get the fuck out of my way. It only makes sense that I can't unknome in the village. I made a joke about how bad it would be for this village if I unknomed in their house. Why did I try to unknome in this guy's basement? Mutual respect, mutual flourishing, and mutual love at the heart of reality is not a thing. Not a thing. Christians didn't even try to have mutual flourishing. That never happened before the Enlightenment. I have to stop. He's making me angry. Everything that he's saying assumes that the Enlightenment ideals of the 18th century were um, self-evident, and that the religious innovations of the 16 and 1700s coming out of Freemasonry re-involved itself in esotericism and distinguished itself from Islam have always been in Christianity. And he's wrong. Everything this book is saying is wrong. So I have to stop, because I didn't want to do a point by point, line by line commentary of how this book is dead ass wrong. I would really, someday, I would really like to read Christian scholarship that's not lying to its audience. When people ask me, why aren't you a Christian? Why aren't you a Christian? Don't you believe in Jesus? I say no, because every Christian is a habitual liar. This grog is the only thing holding me together. A Viking ain't a Viking unless he's sailing the ocean waves. That building on the Cape is Nepto Temple. Pops ought to know more about it. Ask him. Not every Christian academic. Like I said, the Christians at the low level that just go to their priest and just want to go to the afterlife that their priest says is the good one. Your mom is not a liar. But my sensitivity to untruth is extreme, and I consider things that other people don't even consider untruth lies. So I'm not calling anyone. I'm calling people. What I'm doing is I'm acting effectively like an old-timey prophet, and I'm calling everybody but me the fucking worst, because that's what God wanted me to do right there. The boss ain't got a clue how to handle the sea dragon. I was a Viking supposed to fight a monster like that. And again, I'm just kind of being funny. I'm saying things that I know are funny. I'm yelling at a book. I gotta stop because it's making me yell. And it's making the things that I'm saying and that I'm feeling difficult to articulate, because I gotta couch them in things that nobody likes to hear. Nobody wants to know that. You sound like an atheist when you call Christians liars. I'm not an atheist. Believe me, I'm not an atheist. I just feel like they're on my lawn. Get off my lawn! Get off my goddamn lawn! No, what bothers me is this guy doesn't know that he's maybe he does know, but he's not being honest, and he's not fronting the fact. I know more than most about the Mepto dragon. That vicious beast is meant to sleep in its temple for eternity. But ever since the great earthquake, something's roused the dragon from its slumber. Now it ravages any ship that sails the sea. What he doesn't understand is that he's not doing exegesis. He's not reading out of the text. He's coming with biases that he wants to be true, and he's reading them into the text, and he's written 20 hours to support his endogesis, and endogesis is bad scholarship. I can read anything into any text and be wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like right now, we could come over to this. Sure as you're born, I'm the oldest Viking here. And we could read into this that this was the first Viking ever born. This is the first Viking ever born. He just said it. I know more than most about the Nepto dragon, and now we can say about this that he knows everything there is to know about the Nepto dragon, because we're reading into it with our biases. That vicious beast is meant to sleep in its temple for eternity, and we can read into that exactly what he just said. We can choose to leave that unmodified. Do you see how endogesis works and why it's dangerous? You can believe anything so long as you hit yourself in the head often enough. And that's why I wrote an essay once called, not endogesis. Yeah, no, I once read an article called, Never mind. I can't remember the Greek words, but there's a particular epi. Um, there's a particular kind of manner of reading, scholarship, and building an argument called epi something. And I called it brain damage. Looking for the boss? That's him over there. He's become a total layabout. Epigenesis, I think, is not it. Uh, anyway, that's what this guy is doing. And it's brain damage. Reading it causes damage to your brain. I've tried everything, but I just can't win against the sea dragon. If you get rid of the monster, I'll give you anything. I'd even give you the Enterprise. We got a deal? I've done this before. I wouldn't get on a boat right now if I were you. Everyone who sails along the coast gets attacked by the sea dragon. I didn't mean to skip her last line of dialogue, but I'm not going back to it either. Alright, so these pirates are called Vikings in this game. I ain't boarding the Enterprise, even if it's seaworthy. That sea dragon will just come after us. And a Star Trek reference. So we can get on it and it'll do that. Okay. Interesting. I don't remember that. Didn't see that being a thing that would happen. So that was kind of cool. Let's do it again. Neat. We just fired a cannon in a JRPG. Why? Because we could. They gave us the option and we took it. And we'd do it again. What time is it? 11:30. I was about to say I'm starting to get chatty, like I'm tired. And don't know what I'm exactly saying. Don't exactly know what's coming out of my mouth. Sorry for waving my hand in your face. Got the 4 of you there with the 3 likes. It doesn't make sense to leave you hanging, wondering what's going to happen when we go through this little narrow pass here in the water. We're going to get attacked by a real goofy looking sprite. That's a real goofy looking sprite. Yeah, I should feel sorry for it, but it's real goofy looking. I should feel sorry for saying that. I'm going to try it. I said I would try it. He's got thunder, so I'm going to try it. Yikes. I feel like this is one of those fights that I wasn't meant to win. So thank God I saved. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to win this fight. Okay. So what am I doing wrong? And I just suffer the wipe. Just take the wipe. But what did I miss? You can have the Enterprise if you can kill that thing. This is probably what I missed. The Nepto Temple. It's a statue of the Nepto Dragon, but one of its eyes is missing. There seems to be a tiny passageway where the eye used to be. Maybe we can fit in if we use the mini spell. I don't have any tents or ethers, so I need a bed. I need those pirates to be friendly or sell mallets. You fuckers sell mallets? Any of you motherfuckers got mallets? My language is terrible. Oh, Mr. S, you are no longer the lowest health in the party. You haven't been the lowest health in the party for a minute, so we'll fix that right now. Highest health gets to walk around on the mini-map. So, Kyle, you will... Success, he says! uh, if I was saying that to see whether you were still awake, I now know. Oh, man. I have so much. I talk about it, but I talk about it because it surprises me. I have so much sleepover, like old sleepover, hanging out with my cousins on a weekend, my cousin and my little brother. So much old habits from having done that, even in my language, just from putting these games on that I had no idea about. That's really interesting to me. It's just a really interesting psychological phenomenon that my neurons fire to these games, just these graphics, like I'm a little boy again. I don't know what to do or think with that, but that could really explain why people who don't have hard lives but also are not coping with because they do not understand the expectations placed on them by adult life nostalgia bait so hard. They get trapped in nostalgia cycles. That explains it to me in a way that allows me to empathize. Not being able to empathize is something I struggle with, where I just go, I can't understand, I can't empathize, I don't understand, I want to, but I can't, is a struggle for me. Not being able to get to that place, I mean, is a struggle for me. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get our MP back. I don't know how I'm supposed to restore my MP. Get on a boat right now if I were you. I've tried everything. I'll give you anything. I'd even give you my boat. But you wouldn't let me take a nap on your bed. So, would you give me anything? Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Did I talk to that red mage? I don't remember whether I talked to that red mage. Hey, wait a minute. Are you a friend of the crystal too? How do you have a job? What can I do you for? I do think I talked to you. I should give Minnie to someone other than the white mage so that I have more than four casts of it. And the white mage is Nuestra. I remember your name. I'm just real bad at names, so it takes me. I guess I won't give it to. Why do you have blind? I'm dumb. Alright, here we go. Did I give you Kira? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, but I didn't give him his level 2 spells. So, Fyra, Blizzara, those are actually level 3 spells. But I will give you, Mr. S, Thundara, just because I'm that kind of guy. I'm just that kind of guy. Now, do we have all of our... Fuck yeah. Now what we should do, I should be smart, and I should go, Manny, 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 like that. And then I should pay him 40 gil. His tiny little voices. And then wake up as many with all of our mana. I appreciate that I don't have to Dorsh or Douche or whatever his name is. I probably should have taken him. No, I couldn't take him back to his lady love. We got blown across to the other mountain somehow. Don't go on the boat as minis, and don't do this fight, you big stoop. Yeah, shoot it with fucking gnome-sized arrows. You're a tenth your normal size. Shoot it with arrows, the tenth their normal size, please. Please. We're talking about toothpicks. Shoot a bear with a toothpick. I am certain that'll do a whole lot. Okay, everyone is miniaturized. Let's go! The party enters through the dragon's eye socket. The distant future, the year 800. There's no reason particularly why I made that reference. It felt like the thing to do. It seemed like the thing to do at the time. You know what? Bitch. I can't. You can't unmini in the... Also, just while I'm thinking about it, why does the tiny tunnel S like that? Is this the architectural? Is this how this place was designed to be navigated? How can we put that sword in our inventory? Necromancer skeletons get workman's comp? I don't think so. I would highly doubt it. Am I allowed to be big yet? Not allowed to get big. God damn it. It's like being in public. Am I really not allowed to get full sized? They should at least get dental. I just don't think that necromancers are that concerned with their charges is really what it comes down to. I don't think it's... I'm confused. That seems like a terrible plan. So what you're telling me... This seems like a really stupid idea, what I'm about to do. Seems like just a really dumb idea. Like melting a bunch of candy bars in a bowl? I have to read that whole text. What the fuck are you talking about? Sounds amazing, but you're really just making a large bowl of subpar chocolate. That was my first thought. That's gonna be fucking gross. Did you do that? Mr. S, you were a weird kid. Nothing wrong with being a weird kid. But if you did that, that was a weird story. Weird, again, not being a bad thing. I love weird people. Okay, this just seems like a really fucking bad idea, what they're suggesting that I do. A giant rat. No, no gem for you. I'll nibble anyone who tries to take it. And then it squeaks to remind us that it's a rat. Don't know how it was talking. So, that rat knows lightning bolt? Now, I was in fact a weird kid, but that story belongs to a YouTuber. Okay, thank God. Okay, that being something that a YouTuber thought up makes sense. Melting chocolate in a bowl. Okay, that makes sense. I'm just tired enough that didn't change my opinion about you, but I didn't want to know the story. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? I just wanted to know if that was something that you did. Like, wow. Okay. Yeah. That's what would happen if you melted chocolate in a bowl. It would be fucking gross. Not chocolate. Candy bars. It would look and taste gross. I guess it wasn't that bad of an idea. I had enough black magic already in the party. Damn it, Mr. S. Have some fucking decency and common sense. Right. Nepto-eye. Wow. I was just like, why do I want that? For a second. How do I get out of here? How did I get down here? Well, that was a cool dungeon. I actually really liked the dungeon. And what they just did with this dungeon is they basically just told me that what they just did is they just told us that you don't not having enough spell slots to do a whole dungeon and um, having to get to late in the game heroic classes in order to use useless spells is not going to happen in this game. Everybody can use spells, and if you come across a fight like that one, everybody can participate. Oh, I didn't mean to go to the end of the dungeon right off the shell helm, shell armor. That sounds like it's probably good for magic. That's really good against magic damage. Fuck. Okay, well, maybe... No, we haven't run out of spell slots. We have enough spell slots to contribute spells to this whole dungeon. He doesn't, but they do. Yeah. Predicted that on the dollar? What did I predict on the dollar, Mr. S? I'm not always paying attention to what I'm saying. Oh, yeah, the shell army being magic focused. Yeah, I felt good about that. Yeah, it wouldn't have made... Because, shell, the spell, reduces the damage that you take from magic. So it only made sense to me that it wouldn't be made of shells. It would be enchanted with the spell shell. That's how I would have done it. And so what that means is yeah, whether I predicted it, I did. Um, but I was able to predict it because of the internal consistency of the logic of the developers. You follow what I'm saying? They could have done well. It's just a turtle shell, so it's just a little bit better than mithril or whatever. But they chose to do the cool thing and have it reference what we know about white magic. What we should know. I don't know if you saw, but we're up to 29, level 29 at our jobs. Yeah, Mr. S says that what I said makes sense. I think it makes sense. So thank you for confirming. And I'm not a very, very stupid person. I worry about it. I concern myself all the time with, am I a dumbass? Oh, interesting. When you get back attacked in this game, it doesn't change the row you're in. Like it did in the other one. You see how they're still in the front row and... no, I'm wrong. I put everybody but Alec in the back row. Never mind. It does change what row you're in. It's funny that my warrior has less HP than my white mage. Foom, foom, foom. But the black mage is useful in this game more than he or she. They weren't gendered so much. Um, more useful in that you just have more spell slots and your level 1 spells, fire, continue to do reasonable, adequate damage even after you have access to level 2 spells, fire 2. I approve of all of that. So I said this game had some balance issues because I might have just been wrong. I don't know why I didn't think to do it like that, guys. I don't know. I knew I could. I knew I could with uh, Cure. I don't know. How did the eye, if the eye fits in, no, if the eye fits in the socket, how did the guy get into the socket? Like if it fits in it, or is this like those there are Chinese statues with like the foo dog, where they'll have a ball in their mouth, and the way they make that is actually by carving the ball out of the inside of the mouth. They don't make the ball and then put it in the mouth. They actually carve the ball out inside the negative space of the mouth as they're um, shaping the statue. So did they do that? I guess if you can go mini, become as smaller than the eye, you could carve the eye and that whole tunnel to hide it in. It is I, Nepto the Sea Dragon. I thank you for returning my eye. It is no ordinary gem. It is the vessel for my soul. Without it, my physical manifestation cannot be controlled. By way of thanks, I bequeath to you the Fang of Water. Use its power to destroy those obstacles that may block your path. Received the Fang of Water from the Nepto Dragon. Neat. Water has lost that which once shimmered within. That which caused the great earthquake also trapped the light of the elements deep within the earth. I beseech you, please, restore our light. The Nepto Dragon resumes its slumber. Oh, well, that was easier than fighting it. And for people who are like, I prefer non-violent solutions to puzzles, there you go, a non-violent solution to a Final Fantasy puzzle. We probably could have leveled up high enough to fight that thing and win. Did we want to? Hell no. Hell no. Yeah, Kyle's job level just crossed 30. That's pretty fucking sweet. Feeling powerful at our job levels. Why am I doing this? Because I said I didn't want to. God, I'm the worst. I do that so... I want to know what the pirates or the Vikings have to say about this. Tangy is what those are called. Tangy, because they have orange backs, tangerine backs. I don't know. They look cool though. Whoever was in charge of the sprite design of this this game, made the noses on things pointier than in the previous games. Maybe they wanted them to look less cartoony or something. Color me impressed, so brave, so strong. You lot are bona fide heroes. A Viking's word is his bond. The enterprise is yours. And yeah, it's not bona fide. That's a Latin phrase. It's pronounced bona fide. It means you're good fides. And I'm not really sure what the Latin word fide means, but fidelity is derived from fides. Confident comes from fide. So whatever it is, it's like truth. It's like following through on what you said you were going to do. So fides might be what people say about you. Your bona fides might be the good words that people say about the work you do. He's got his bona fides, his bona fides. People have written letters of recommendation about his work. I think that's what that is. Quote me on it, and you will be the person who looks stupid. Because you should have known better than to quote my stupid ass. Well, spells are a lot more powerful in this game than in the first Final Fantasy. It's impossible, really, at this point, really, for me. The difference between white and red mage is in spell slots, not in damage and not in spells they can use. I approve. The amount of times they can cast. I approve. I don't remember what I was saying. That struck me as so clever, so genius, such a better way to expand. That I don't remember what I was saying before that. That hit me real hard. We are coming up on time to be done, though. Let's see what's up on this. Let's see what's up with this town. I was talking about bona fides. Ah, mercy. There's nothing here of value, I swear. Lol, what? Please spare me. Lol, what? This town looks like it's seen better days, yo. Well, he did say there's nothing to rob. That's a child that ran into a chimney. Children don't usually like to go in the chimney. They prefer the gold mines. Copper, the tin. Coal mines is the word I meant to say. But gold is what came out. Alright, so I can go in after him. Please spare the child. I don't want to hurt the child. Oh, you're not with the soldiers? My apologies. I assumed those brutes were back to finish what they started. They took my husband captive and headed west into the desert. They bore the crest of King Argus. I pray that my husband is unharmed. Please, let him still be alive. Okay, so they did something similar to this at Deist, is that right? Deist? Uh, do you guys do this every time? Do I need you to have done this in order for something to happen? There's a monstrous evil roaming the western desert. Yeah, serious sense of deja vu. Yeah, they recycled this, but they're changing, elements. There's a lot of recycling and then changing within the Final Fantasy. Recycle, subtle difference. Recycle, subtle difference. Nod and hints and their fan service for people who've played the previous games. There's a monstrous evil roaming the West Desert. It's a huge tree, a tree that moves on its own, I tell ya. Oh. Beyond the desert, far, far to the west, is a village full of eccentric people who claim to be descended from the ancients, whatever that means. And if you remember Final Fantasy VII, one of the soldiers dropped this banner after they attacked our village. It bears the crest of Argus. King Argus? That can't be right. And sometimes Sid is here. I love how you spell Sid incorrectly, but differently every time. It's funny to me. I'm not making fun of you. I wouldn't even have commented on it if it weren't different every time. But like we were talking about, people call the Final Fantasy games, they call them loose anthologies. That's not what they are. The Final Fantasy series is not a loose anthology. It's it's a development in technique and approach from the same core development team. And the goal is to be the last fantasy RPG you will need until their next release. The mayor of Tokyo lives here. If you want to know about our plight, you should ask him. Okay. I'm the mayor, no kidding. We've been beset by soldiers coming from the western desert since the quake. They seize our food supplies and capture our able-bodied citizens. The town is on its knees and there's nothing we can do to stop them. There's a hidden staircase in the hearth that leads to a storeroom with a weapon and a few other things. We're a peaceful folk and no one is prepared to fight. Please, take whatever you need and save our town. Move ass. Move. That ram's head over the hearth looks like some creepy pagan shit. Sametsuken? Genpogi? That sounds like some Japanese stuff. Mr. S, do you feel like... Wow. Your accuracy drops like fucking crazy when you put on the staves. No wonder dude can't hit anything. I don't remember. Setsuken or something like that. Why am I doing it this way? They don't have different armor sets. Please stop. Okay, it's nunchucks. We don't have a monk in the party. What am I doing? I'm looking at our job levels. I knew there was something. Okay. I knew there was something that I needed to do, but I went in the menu, but I couldn't remember what it was. I had the white mage and the red mage, Mr. S, and Nuestra, not in that order, in the back row, and they really needed to be not in the back row. Okay. Western Desert. I like this, being able to find shit. Okay, that was not a thing in the previous two games, and I like that. The hidden shit lying around towns, lying around dungeons, Lamia scale. Some of it's really good. I like that. A great deal. Oh, what I was doing was looking to see who could wear that ninja gi and be happy about it. Not him. Not her. Not him. Probably a monk. I'll bet you a monk. Or if we had the class ninja, I bet they could do it. Alright, dudes. Thank you for being here. There's still the three of you, the five of you, and 3 likes. Thank you so much, guys. But I have done as much as I can do. I am going to fall asleep in one of these combat encounters. Oh, I made it to midnight. 2 minutes before midnight counts because I'm going to do my goodbyes, and I'm from the Midwest, and I identify as Midwestern on some level, and so my goodbyes are always too long. Thank you for being here, really. Thank you so much for the opportunity to try to share this game, to try to entertain you, to share the book that I'm reading, to try to not educate you, but just inform you of how weird and passionate I am about weird shit that nobody else cares about, and to justify why I have such strong and strongly held opinions about things that you're told you're supposed to be relative or even ignore, right? Relative about or even ignore things that you're told don't matter enough for you to form an opinion about. I have these very, very passionate opinions, and it's just been a real honor. You see the tree that we're going to be dealing with in the future. It's just been a real honor to share my time, my night, my passion, my game, my interest with you, my time, and my tent, because you can kind of see me and kind of see the inside of my tent if my if the little video port is showing like it's supposed to be. So thank you. Um, Thank you to Mr. S and to Alec Smith and to Maestra Familia and to Kyle and to Magic Shadow. In a few days will have paid me on Patreon. And Mr. S, I've stopped mentioning it specifically on the 9th, but thank you for your continued support, your loyalty. Um, I thought that I was going to be late coming to this tonight because I had to have a little cry when I got back to my tent, because this is the first time in my life people have actually supported me. I've always been alone, and I've always done everything alone. I've always been denied help when I've asked it, and when I've tried to demonstrate that what I'm doing is working until the last few weeks. And Madge and Mr. S and a few other people here and there at random in my life, I've been told that what I'm doing isn't work, and I've never understood how effort isn't work. So thank you for sharing the time with me. No matter what you think of me, no matter what you think of what I'm doing, um, this is a fun little game. I'm having a really good time playing this. I didn't pay attention to it the only other time I've played it. I just read the strategy guide. Okay, I gotta go where? I gotta do what? I gotta be what level? I wanna be what level with my classes? What level are my dudes? And I've just smashed through it because the strategy guide warns you that it has some balance issues, and that what you don't want to do is get ahead of yourself worrying about your class level. Just play the game because there are balance issues later in the game. But ignoring that, like I don't know it, and playing it for what it is, Final Fantasy the First. But if you don't like your party setup, you can change jobs on the fly. So really, it's the true sequel to the first Final Fantasy in gameplay mechanic, feel, look. And I never would have come to any of these opinions without the opportunity to share it with you, because I would have just bit them down. Even reading this book, I would have just turned it off and I wouldn't have said anything to anybody. I would have just been in a bad mood for a couple of days. And I don't have to be in a bad mood anymore. And that's you guys. So pat yourselves on the back. Thank you. Um, Thank you for that fourth like. Thank you for the sixth uh, hanger on. Thank you for being here during my goodbye. I really value you. I really do. Without you, I would just be miserable. Without this, and I don't mean the tent, I mean these lives, this this community that we're building together. I would be fucking miserable. Just miserable. And I haven't been in a bad mood, a legitimately bad mood, just over it, over my day to day in weeks. And that's you. You give me that. So sharing this is my gift to you, and participating is your reciprocation. And that's religion to me. That's my religion. So thank you. And I'm sorry that I didn't see it. That it turned my comments off for whatever reason, Green. But I'm seeing now um, that you like to listen to me while I'm high. So thank you for that, and that you were. Thank you for mentioning that you liked uh, what I said about why nostalgia might work. I don't have a lot of nostalgia, so I don't understand it. So I found myself talking about it. So I'm glad that I'm glad that you like my stuff. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you all for coming in right as I'm about to end. But thank you. This will be uploaded, and this will be our nights after 10 p.m. Until we beat it. And this one we could really pad out for the full 20 hours or whatever of the book I'm reading because of the jobs. So thank you. Thank all 8 of you who are here with me now. I am going to bed after this. You'll see me tomorrow in the morning. I'll be live from the tent. We'll do the fountain. We'll talk. We'll get to know one another. And then tomorrow is Tuesday, so that's Titan Quest. Take care.